Thank you for joining us here on Boise State University Television Productions coverage here of a friendly match between Boise State Women's Soccer Club and Boise Thorns. I'm Alton Dills, joined by my color commentator Riley Chappelle. They started a little bit early for us, so that's why we've already moved about 4 minutes or so through the first half. Riley, what have you been seeing so far?
Well, so far here in these first 4 minutes, once again, we apologize for not being able to get the live stream set up for you folks. It looks like Boise State's really taking advantage of that chemistry they've had from playing a full fall and spring season together so far. And it looks like the Thorns, some of them who are playing together for the first time, actually, are still kind of trying to figure out the kinks and iron it out a little bit here. Today, Boise State will be playing a traditional 4-3-3, and the Thorns are going to, for the first time, be trying a 3-5-2 with 3 in the back rather than the traditional 4. So far, so good for the Thorns. Boise State's applied some pressure, but some poor first touches in the front half for Boise State have allowed the Thorns to turn them over, and we're at a 0-0 ball game here 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and an indirect free kick going against Brooke McCormick there, I think, for just handling of the ball there. So it's going to be a free kick here at a pretty good position here for the Boise Thorns. And, you know, it's interesting trying to compare the 5-3-2 to the, or the 3-5-2, excuse me, to the 4-3-3 as that free kick sails out of bounds. I mean, it's just a different way of playing, you know. I mean, there's less people going forward, so it's a little more challenging to kind of progress the ball.
Well, for the Thorns, I'd have to imagine part of the reason they're playing with 5 midfielders is just for more flexibility. The head coach today for the Thorns is going to be Kelly Potter, and Kelly Potter, as I was talking to her before the game, doesn't really know what this team has to offer yet, and so I would imagine she's putting more players in the middle to allow that flexibility for people to either drop up or fall back, especially against this Boise State club, as I said before, that has good chemistry. Here's a nice little pass.
Yeah, nice, good job receiving the ball and turning, and they were trying to play pass there. It looked like forwards there, as the goalkeeper did a good job of coming up and knocking that one out of play to stop the attack there from Boise. And we're seeing, you know, it looks like Boise's a little more comfortable on the ball, looking for their teammates to use using the full width of the field there as they get it in, and we're going to be doing the throw-in again. So what have you been seeing from Boise State so far early on?
Well, as I was saying before, they've put together some nice passing combinations. I'd like to see more of that in the future, and eventually, if they keep putting these passing combinations together with the lack of experience and chemistry on the back end for the Thorns, I expect them to punch through. But don't discount the fact that half of this Thorns returning roster is the Idaho Cutthroats that won the Mountain West Division of the UPSL last year. So while there may not necessarily be the team chemistry that you would want, there is a ton of talent on the Thorns. So I would expect this overall to be a very tightly contested game.
Absolutely, and it's a free kick one there. It's going to just relieve some of the pressure there from the Broncos, as we had Riley Stout there for the Boise Thorns applying some pressure there to the back line. Got a little too eager, though, committing a foul. Free kick is going to be taken, but it's going to be intercepted by the Thorns. Still trying to string some passes together here now. We have Brenna Rill helping, resisting the pressure, finding her teammate there, but still looks like these teams are feeling each other out, trying to figure out where everybody is on the field. I mean, this, you know, we did talk about this is going to be a scrimmage, a friendly, you know, so not your traditional game by any stretch. Good bit of possession here from the Thorns, and almost found the way through there, and now some space potentially behind here for the Broncos to counter if they want it. The ball is there, and it's just a little bit too far. They're going to try to play it back to the goalie, but there's a misplaced pass, and it's cleared away for just a moment. And the Thorns are going to get out of trouble with that one. A miscommunication at the back almost proved problematic there for the Thorns. And now they're going to try to play their way down this left side, and they're going to try to get around the side there as it's Riley Stout again, and try to put a cross to her teammate in the middle there for Bailey Danez, and not quite able to find her, but the Thorns still with the ball, looking to progress forward. Here's Danez trying to find a teammate. She does, but a nice job winning the ball back there from Claire Esping, and it looks like she committed a foul. So it's going to be another good free kick here for the Thorns.
From the time we started this live stream a couple minutes ago to now, you can see the Thorns are a lot more comfortable possessing the ball in the midfield with those 5 midfielders. Now, they haven't necessarily been able to get it up to their front line successfully yet, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing here from the Thorns, as that's a nice little play to give themselves an opportunity right there.
Yeah, the women's club team has a player down on the field as a...
That's going to be the left back, Mackenzie Cunningham, who's down right now.
Yeah, Cunningham got shaken up blocking a shot. It looks like off that quick free kick. Looks like she's going to be okay though to continue. Well, while we have a moment here, you know, let's kind of talk about the Boise Thorns, as we might have some fans that are unfamiliar with them. I know we've kind of talked a little bit about it so far, but they used to be the Idaho Cutthroats.
Yes, so for those familiar with semi-pro soccer, especially the UPSL here in Idaho, the Idaho Cutthroats have been one of the premier semi-pro teams for the last couple of years, actually winning the Mountain West Division in UPSL, as I mentioned before, beating Albion SC by a score of 2-1. Now the Cutthroats team, as they existed up until a couple months ago, actually beat this same club team 2-1 in October. Now as the Boise Thorns, they're looking to start a new UPSL season in early May, where they look to build off the success of the Cutthroats last year. Former Cutthroat players who are now on the Thorns include Hilda Campos, Jasmine Ramos, Maddie Brown, Bailey Dunez, May Litschauer, and Brittany Houghton, as well as Fern Rogel. All of them played on the Cutthroats last year. Fern Rogel is actually in goal right now. She's the one we saw earlier.
It's a good clearance there, and we're going to see Rogel come out here to make the stop off the clearance, and now I'm going to boot it over the halfway line, and it's headed down by Boise State, but it's going to be taken by the Timbers. That numbers advantage in midfield continuing to pay off, as now they trying to find some combination play down this near-hand side, but Boise State's going to get it back, but the Thorns are going to take it right back. Resisting the pressure here from the Lady Broncos so far, as that's a good effort in front, and she's going to try to win the ball there, but unable to do so is Riley Stout again, trying to cause some problems here for this Broncos back line. It's going to be put out for a throw-in for the Thorns. And as they get the play restarted, they're going to try to put a cross in towards the middle here, and it's still out. It's not there yet, and here's an opportunity for Dunez. Gets it over the goalkeeper, and it's headed off the line, and it's still put in. And that will be the first goal of the game for Bailey Dunez.
Just a bit of a misplay there from the back line of Boise State. The keeper for Boise State, that would be Kenzie Ballinger, didn't communicate with her back line properly and thought that she was going to have a bit more help. So when the ball was bouncing around in there, the defender wasn't able to put her head on it, and Bailey Dunez was.
Great effort there too, just to stick with the play after not, getting it over Ballinger, not quite, refusing to give up on the play. That second effort's really, I think, what sealed the goals. The Broncos get play restarted as they look to respond, as they trail 1-0 here, as we're about 12 minutes gone here in the first half.
The last few minutes have been all Thorns, in part because their midfield has been so aggressive. Even there on that set piece that they had on their attacking side, all 10 players in the field were up over the halfway line.
You can see the Broncos now, they're really struggling to possess the ball. I mean, you were just talking about the press, from the Thorns. It's really causing problems here for the Broncos, and they're committing a fair number of fouls right now, but that's a good bit of control here from the Broncos, and now they've got some room to work here out in the space on the far side there, if they're able to get it, but put out of play there by the Thorns to stop that for the moment.
Yeah, I would like to see the Broncos maintain a little bit of possession here. It looks like they're kind of rushing to get the ball further up the field. I'd like to see them set up a nice attack and get some good runs. Maybe some more passes like that too. Let's see if she can get to that one. It does not appear she can. Now as we line up for the goal kick here, we would just like to remind you that we are University Television Productions, streaming live through Boise State TV's YouTube channel. We do a couple sporting events a year, and we are happy to have you along with us. Thank you very much for joining today. We are covering a soccer scrimmage here between the Boise State Women's Club team and the newly formed UPSL side, the Boise Thorns, formerly known as the Idaho Cutthroats. Thank you all for joining us today.
So the Broncos still not quite able to find that final ball there to their forwards. Midfield's not quite able to get on the same page with them, as here's another opportunity potentially here for the Thorns, as they're able to get the ball in behind here again, as it's Riley Stout again trying to get towards the goal. She gets the shot away, but it's going to be cleared away off the line at the back post by the Broncos, and they survive that opportunity.
That's a great clearance there by the left back, Mackenzie Cunningham. She got to that back post because she saw that Riley Stout was going to want to try to play across to the forward on the other side, and she was able to intercept that pass and get it out of dodge.
Yeah, really good attention to detail there by the Broncos left back as we wait for play to restart here. And it's going to be a throw-in knocked on here by the Broncos, but it's going to be possessed here by the Thorns, as it's going to be Maddie Brown looking forwards here, and she does manage to connect to her teammate before the Broncos are able to win the ball back. Looking for another headed opportunity here by Jordan Henderson here for the Broncos, but unable to make anything stick so far. Cleared forward again, and Riley Stout trying to cause more problems, but this time the Broncos able to win out on that situation. Good defending there by Paige McCrindle, and now the Broncos trying to switch to the far side here, and they've got some room to work. They have a numbers advantage if they want it. They get the overlap into the box. Here comes the shot, and and it looks like the Broncos player knocked down, and the referee doesn't see anything in it. So the Thorns are able to come up with a defensive stop.
That was a well-played through ball there from the Broncos, but I would like to see that ball played a split second earlier. That challenge was able to come from the Thorns defender because that ball was played 1 or 2 seconds too late. If that ball was played to Jordan Henderson just a touch faster, I think she would have had the opportunity for a 2-touch and a shot on goal.
Definitely agree, as the Thorns trying to absorb some pressure here as the Broncos really growing into the game now, and another opportunity was looking for Henderson there on a through ball. Just mistimed the run, would have been offside if would have been offside there had the pass connected. So the Thorns still in possession here, and the Broncos win the ball back quickly. Here's Henderson again, and she's going to put a ball for the overlap here on the near side, and the ball comes across the box, and it's dealt with for the moment, but it's still in a dangerous position, swiped up, and it's going to still be in a dangerous position, and that's an audacious effort there that just goes over the top of the net there by Henderson.
That was a little bit of an ambitious try there from Henderson. She was well over 30 yards out from the position she shot that ball there. She was a good 15 yards outside the corner of the 18.
Broncos really applying some pressure right now, though. I mean, they're doing a better job of, I think, winning those duels in the middle of the field, and they're possessing the ball a little bit better, and the Thorns are the ones now struggling to find that outlet to relieve some of that pressure.
Well, you know what they say, 90% of a good possession gets you 90% the way to a goal.
Absolutely, as the Thorns still under duress here in their own end. This is Terrelyn Hyman applying the pressure here for the Broncos, as the Thorns, again, still trying to play their way out. Have several Broncos involved here, but it's going to be another throw in here for the Thorns as the Broncos knock it out of play. And here comes the throw in, and it's going to be turned over to the Broncos, and they're looking to switch the play towards the middle of the field, but good defensive recovery by the Thorns, and they're going to sweep that out towards the middle of the field, and the Broncos now have some work to do to get out of danger here on the halfway line, and they are able to win the ball back. And now they're going to try to turn defense into offense. Here comes Ruby Burrows trying to transition towards Henderson, but not able to connect on the pass.
A quick shout out there to the midfielder, number 10 for the Boise Thorns. That's Vic Pislari. She is actually a senior in high school currently, playing for the semi-pro side, the Boise Thorns. How exciting is that?
Man, that must be interesting. I mean, the only high schooler among these two teams.
Well, I'd hope there's no high schoolers on the club side.
Would hope so as well. This play gets restarted here. Broncos trying to win the ball back again here on the halfway line, and they're able to do so. And here's a nice pass here to Henderson, and she's got some room here on this left side of the penalty area. She goes for the shot, and it's going to be dealt with there by the goalkeeper, Fern Rogel.
Henderson had no assistance there on that attack.
It feels like the Broncos, they're lacking in ways to support their striker right now. Feels like every time she's gotten the ball, it's been won on about 2 or 3.
They are. I'd like to see them press up a bit more and be a bit more fluid, like the middle line for the Thorns have been, as there's a nice little pass.
That's a great pass, just a little bit too far on the effort there, but almost angled perfectly there, which would have completely gotten in behind the Broncos' back line. So we're just about 19 minutes gone here in the first half. If you're just joining us, welcome to Boise State University Television Productions. I'm Alton Dills, and Riley Chappelle's also here providing the insightful analysis of this game so far. As we get restarted here, Boise State turning it over on the goal kick, and that's a great play, or a great idea, I should say, from Dinez, but not quite able to see it through. Now the Broncos trying to play their way out of the Thorns press, and they're going to try to play one over the top here, and they're going to find it here. And this is a great play opportunity here, and there's support in the penalty area, but not quite able to find anything as it's swept out of danger by the Thorns. It's going to be a throw-in, but in a good position if they can get it there.
See, once again, I would like to see the midfielders for Boise State press up a little bit there. As that ball was entering the 18, all 3 midfielders for Boise State were within 10 yards of the center line there, giving the Thorns the 4-3 advantage on the front side there. If Boise State wants a chance at a goal here, they're going to have their midfielders be more of an active participant in the attack.
Looks like had a substitution there for Boise State, a few of them, but one of them I did catch is number 18, Claire LaRocca, coming on, I think, at right wing. As the Broncos get it in, and they're going to try to put it across in the box here on the far side, trying to withstand some pressure, but the Thorns with some good defending, and they win a throw. Well, as we get ready to restart play again, wanted to shout out a quick thing here from the Boise State club team, as they are going to be in conjunction with the men's club team here at Boise State. They're going to be hosting a camp for youth soccer on May 28th through the 31st for boys and girls aged 18 to 13 at Lincoln Intramural Field. Information can be found on the team's Instagram page at Boise State Women's Club Soccer. As play is restarted here, the Broncos have the ball in the Thorns' end, but still kind of just passing it around, looking for an opening, not quite seeing anything just yet. As now they're trying to make something work down here on this right-hand side. Henderson wins a throw. And we have a couple of seniors as well here on the women's side for Boise State. We have center back Katie Mills, Taylor Arietta, Claire Esping, Ashton. Excuse me, reading the wrong notes there. Riley, you want to take it over?
Yes, I will do that in just a second here, Alton, if you want to just keep going.
Absolutely. Apologies for that, folks. Reading the wrong notes there. But as we get underway here, again, still kind of on this near side as the Broncos getting ready to take the throw, I believe. Excuse me, that was the Thorns who are going to be throwing that in, and now they're going to try to move down this left-hand side. The Broncos trying to spring a trap there, and they're able to win the ball, and looking for Henderson again, not quite able to find anything, and the Thorns just get it clear again, and the Broncos will look to go on the attack again.
And now a quick shout out to our Boise State seniors who will be playing their last home game today against these Thorns. Number 5, Katie Mills, is playing her last home game, as is number 21, Kiara Goodwin, and number 29, Brenna Friesen, who unfortunately is not here today.
Congratulations to them on their careers here with the club team, as we get restarted here from a kick from Fogel for the Thorns. And now here's an opportunity in front of the left-hand side here, but it's going to be dealt with by the Broncos for the moment. Thorns still in possession, though, looking potentially for a turn here. That's a good takeaway, though, for the Broncos, and now they're looking to counter. Is there going to be support here? Here's Henderson looking for the overlap. She gets a through ball in, and here's another opportunity here for the Broncos. And in the penalty area, the shot is away.
That's a great shot there from Henderson. Just rattles off the crossbar there.
Almost found a way through. Looked like the Thorns had everything covered up there for a moment. Now the Broncos again. Since they conceded that first goal, Riley, I think they've looked pretty good in trying to get the score back even.
They've shored up a little bit. Both teams weathered the storm of that first few minutes, as I'm sure you can hear the wind in our mics. It is a little bit of a windy day out here, even though you can't tell because there's barely a cloud in the sky. The first 10 minutes was a bit shaky, and in that 10 minutes, the Thorns was able to punch one in. But both teams have kind of settled into their style of play here, and it's been a much cleaner last 10 minutes.
So we have a fight for the ball there in the far corner, and now it's going to come out for a throw-in. Well, as we have gone on here, I really think in the last few minutes they've done a better job of finding some support for their striker, the Broncos. It feels like they've found new ways to kind of get some more people forward and give them some more opportunities to potentially find new avenues to get some shots away.
They have. They're still being a little bit tentative, which is understandable because Bailey Dunez on the front end for the Thorns has a ton of talent, and so those midfielders don't want to abandon their back line and allow Dunez to have a one-on-one opportunity to beat her man or make a nice pass. I'd like to see a bit more aggressiveness from the Broncos, but it seems, like I said before, they are loosening up a little bit here, starting to get comfortable in establishing possession as well.
Absolutely, and a nice switch of play here of the field, and now they're going to chase this ball down into the corner, and they keep it alive, and they try to send one across the 18-yard box, and instead it's going to be taken by the Thorns, but a good win of the ball back here, and the Broncos unrelenting as they come back on the attack, and they are going to go for a shot from outside the box, which is going to be easily claimed there by Rogel. Rogel will restart again with a kick towards the halfway line. We see the Thorns chasing after it. The Broncos have it for the moment. They're going to play the ball back to the goalkeeper, Kenzie Ballinger. Now the Broncos trying to play in front of our broadcast setup here. They are unable to retain possession though, and now here come the Thorns through the middle of the field now, and the Broncos are able to win the ball there. Great win of the ball, and now
and a good pass.
Looking to play the pass, and she finds it, looking for support. The defender's making the run too. That's a good move. Good step over into the box, looking for the pass. And that's just going to be a goal kick, so not quite able to find that final ball yet again for the Lady Broncos.
It's a great sequence there from the Broncos, and one of the first times actually that we have seen somebody from the midfield or the defense actually, I believe that was the center back who made that run, step up and really get aggressive there. I think Boise State's going to need a bit more of that, as the player who made that nice play is now coming out for a substitution.
Yeah, good effort rewarded with a brief break to regain the energy. So we're going to get play restarted off the goal kick here from the Thorns. Broncos win the first ball, but the second ball is going to be won by the Thorns. They try to play through the middle of the field again, exchanging diagonals, and now here come the Broncos as they win the ball in the middle of the field. That's a good ball here again for the Broncos as they look to find something here from Henderson into the near corner where they will tangle up, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Broncos. They get play restarted quickly here, and they've got some room here, and they're going to go for the shot. It's going to go just wide of the goal, and a goal kick coming up.
Just a little bit of impatience there from the Broncos. That one actually from my sister Sydney's friend Claire Esping, who fired one from about 25 yards out and went a little bit wide.
As we get play restarted here again off of another goal kick, that's going to be a second ball won by the Broncos just inside the Thorns end, and they're going to quickly play a pass or two, but the Thorns able to stall their momentum there for just a moment. It's going to be another throw in here for the Thorns. You know, it's been interesting. Typically, when you see these kind of 3-5 defender formations, they typically struggle to kind of keep the pressure off. And at first, it didn't seem like the Thorns were going to have any kind of issue like that. But now, starting to see them be a little bit more combative, but also dealing with those pressure, those moments where they're struggling to find that final outlet to relieve some of that pressure right now.
That is true. Part of the issue with playing 5 midfielders, which isn't necessarily a bad or a good thing, is that each one of those midfielders kind of has to claim their own space and decide how aggressive or defensive they're going to be. And when you have a team that doesn't have a ton of chemistry, such as these Thorns do, sometimes you're going to have a little bit of miscommunication, and there won't be a spot for that pressure valve to release.
Definitely a series of good points there, and that's going to be a key, as we as they try to continue to see out this first half, as we're about 29 minutes gone here in the first half, where the score is still 1-0 for the Boise Thorns, as the Broncos women's soccer team, or club team, trails 1-0. They're going to be trying for something here on this right-hand side in front of the broadcast booth, and they're going to try to play a ball into the box, but not quite on the same page, and that's going to be easily claimed there by Fern Rogel. As the play is restarted over the halfway line again, Broncos trying to decide how to deal with this ball. They're going to win the first and the second ball, but that's going to be a good job there by the Thorns, as that's a nice turn there for the Thorns. Looking for an opportunity to maybe win the second ball here are the Thorns, but the Broncos are all over it, as they've got numbers in this part of the field right now. Looking to quickly progress, but stalled out for the moment. And they're looking for the quick turnaround here on a long ball over the top. And referee blows his whistle for a foul, and it's going to be given, and a free kick coming up here for the Boise Thorns. Outside of really that one chance, I think, at the beginning of the game where the Thorns had that bit of a miscommunication, I really don't think we've seen too many crazy chances other than the post. I mean, they've really tightened things up back there.
They certainly have. Boise State has become a bit more comfortable in maintaining possession, and they've also been able to ward off all attacks by the Thorns since Bailey Dunez was substituted out a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, it really does feel like since she went out of the game, it's been a little bit harder for the Thorns to find any kind of attacking output.
That is true, but in speaking with head coach and program manager Kelly Potter, my apologies as I shuffle my notes around here in the wind, Coach Potter said that winning is not the ultimate goal today. The ultimate goal actually for the Thorns is to get as many players in as many positions as possible to try to see what each one of these players' skill sets are, because the Thorns are using this scrimmage today as a bit of an open tryout. They actually were adding players to their roster all the way up until late last night. And so getting these different players in these different positions in this 3-5-2 formation is going to be a great way for Coach Potter to kind of scout out what she's got and who works well together.
Absolutely. And another thing too is this is a really good test for the group that she's got here today, because the Broncos, they're winding down their season. They've been in season for quite a while, and they're are coming off a pretty big tournament result in Montana.
They are coming off of a big tournament result in the inaugural Bridger Classic up in Bozeman, Montana, hosted by Montana State University, where after cruising through pool play without allowing a goal, they shut out Montana State, the host of the tournament, to win the inaugural Bridger Classic up in Bozeman. So a great result for their last tournament of the season and the last tournament that these seniors on the team will ever play.
That's a good way to send them out, and that's why they're going to be hoping to potentially go out on a win today for those seniors.
This would be a sweet icing on the cake for those seniors in this team. But talking with team captain Kenzie Ballinger, she kind of told me that the highest point of their spring season was winning that Bridger Classic up in Bozeman. So this would just be the cherry on top.
Absolutely. There's nothing quite like a tournament win. And, especially with this group of seniors, I mean, they've definitely seen the rise, I feel like, of the program as they've qualified for nationals in the last couple of years for some of the, setting some big program marks along the way.
The last 2 years They've gone to nationals, which is actually coincidentally the first 2 times they've gone to nationals. Now they've gone to nationals and they haven't had great success. 2 years ago, the club team went to nationals and they went a combined 0-3, losing to Notre Dame, Colorado, and UCF in the women's open division. This is in Round Rock, Texas.
Sorry to cut you off there, buddy, but it looked like there was an opportunity there for the Broncos. May continue.
No worries. And then last year, they qualified for the Women's Championship, which is a level up from the Open Division. And there, they lost 0-2 and 1-4 to Northeastern and Vanderbilt, respectively. But qualifying for nationals means that they've won Region 6's North Division in Springfield, Oregon the last 2 years, which is a big deal because they've established themselves as one of the premier women's club side in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal as this program continues to level up here. As now the Thorns are going to be trying to play their way out of trouble here. As the Broncos have spent a fair number of time here in the last 10 minutes or so in the Thorns' end, but they have not quite found a way through the defense, and that's going to be foul given to the Thorns. So a free kick coming up here for the Thorns to relieve some of that pressure.
A great way to fight out a dodge there by number 10, the high schooler, Vic Pislari.
So we get restarted here with a couple of long balls over the top as we see Maya Millet coming over the left-hand side here. Looks like she moved a little bit too early though and is going to be off sides on that one as the Broncos look to restart. Well, we are 35 minutes gone here in the first half, so only about 10 minutes or so remaining in the first half. If you are just joining us, it's Boise Thorns leading 1-0 here over the Boise State Women's Club soccer team here at Lincoln Intramural Field. I'm Alton Dills, joined by Riley Chappelle on Boise State University Television Productions coverage of this friendly match. We see some more movement here from the Thorns in the middle of the field. Looking to string a couple of passes together and not quite able to find that final pass, as that's a good claim there from Kenzie Ballinger.
Ball's rolling a bit hot on both sides on this turf here. Some of these through balls we've seen have been very, very cheeky and pretty well played, but they've just gathered a bit too much pace off of the first bounce.
That they have. That's a good win off the second ball there from the Thorns, but are they going to be able to find anything of it? Well, the Broncos managed to just get it clear for the moment. Looks like the Broncos are trying to, save some of their energy here. That's a great turn away from the pressure there by Jasmine Ramos there. Almost got blindsided by a Boise State player, and the ball comes into the box there, but it's blocked away for the moment by the back line. They're going to try to send another one in. Here are the Thorns, and it looks like Maya Millet was too early on the move, and it's going to go into this corner here for a goal kick.
That was well played there by the outside back for Boise State to use her body position to prevent Millet from getting to that ball, as that ball took a big first hop over both of their heads, and the defender's body position allowed that ball to trickle out.
Yeah, it seems like the Broncos, it looks like it looks like in the last 10 minutes or so, after how much time they spent kind of dominating the play, it felt like for a long time there, but not coming up with anything. It feels like almost running out of gas a little bit there for a bit.
Well, certainly a little bit. I also think they're being a bit more intentional with their possessions, though. They're definitely taking a bit more time, as Rogel's getting very aggressive here.
And it's going to be shouldered down for a moment here, but Rogel's still off the line, but the ball didn't want to sit right there for the Broncos, as they're still trying to deal with the ball in front of the 18-yard box, and that's a good job there by the Thorns trying to get out of trouble here for the moment, turning away from the pressure. And they're going to just play it back to Rogel, who's going to try to play their way down the field. But the Broncos are going to take it back, and they're going to try to put a ball in over the top there for their forward, but not quite able to connect it. It's going to go out for a goal kick for Rogel.
A good sequence there from Boise State. They were able to get the ball up quickly there. I am surprised to see how aggressive Fern Rogel was coming out to defend that ball there. All it would have taken is one misplay for Boise State to be able to essentially dribble the ball into the goal.
Absolutely is. That's going to be a nice turnover there for the Broncos. Here's another opportunity here down this right-hand side, trying to play the ball in the box. It's laid off, but not quite found a Bronco. It's found a Thorn, and now they're going to try to play in behind us. Here's a run for Maya Millet. She's in behind the defense. She gets the ball. Step over. And we're going to go back to where it all started, as it looks like she moved a little bit too early again and is offsides.
Malay was trying her best to get back to the last player in the Boise State defensive line, but she was about 2 or 3 feet ahead of that line, hence the offsides being called.
Yep, and not quite able to connect there. I'm very impressed though with what the coordination it feels like that the Thorns have been showing as we've grown, as they kind of grown into the game here. They're getting a better understanding of where they're getting a better understanding of where they're going to be on the field, and they're just see the growth already from this team as Boise State's able to survive that potential counter opportunity from the Thorns. But Thorns not making it easy here for the Broncos. That's a good layoff potentially from Maya Malay, looking for her teammate Michelle Dorn, but Broncos are going to deal with it on this far side. Now the Broncos play their way out of the trap that was laid by the Thorns, and now they're looking to potentially counter here, but there's only one person in the center there for the Broncos to potentially aim for. She's going to try it. She's got a deflection on it, but the deflection's going to go right towards Fern Rogel. Not nearly enough pace on the shot to potentially trouble the goalkeeper.
And once again, just not enough help there from the Bronco midfield. They only had 3 players up on the attack. That would be their 3 forwards. And with the Thorns being able to drop back 4, sometimes 5 in defense, the Broncos didn't have the numbers there to break through.
You know, it's interesting, and I'm starting to wonder this as we're about 40 minutes in here. I wonder if have the Broncos, seen this 3-5-2 before or something similar to it, and that might be part of the struggles they're seeing here with the numbers in the positions that their players are taking up on the field. As we have an opportunity here in the boxes. Oh my!
Offsides
Golden opportunity as offsides was called there. Good eye, Mr. Chappelle. Big opportunity for the Thorns.
I had some sisters who played soccer. That was a great opportunity there for Maya Malay to press up there, as it looks like we have some substitutes coming in here.
And it looks like we're going to see Brenna Rill jog onto the field, and as far as I could tell from my slightly unobstructed view, was what I could see. So
you are spot on, buddy.
So it looks like the Thorns are going to turn the ball over there. Here's an opportunity here for the Broncos. They're going to try to play a ball into the far side, and they have an opportunity here, but the first touch takes it towards the goalkeeper, and another Broncos opportunity goes begging. Fern Rogel clears it away. The Broncos trying to win the first ball. They're going to send it towards their forward line again. Here are the Thorns trying to play their way out as they win the second ball. Very calm on the ball there, but not quite able to locate a teammate, so the Broncos will take the ball back there. Now they're going to exchange some passes here on this far side. That's a good turn away from the pressure here for the Broncos as they try to switch towards the middle of the field. Laying it back off towards the far side. Now they're going to try to play another ball in, trying to get over the top of the defense here. And the Broncos are going to win the ball. The referee's thinking about it, and he's going to decide to call for a foul there. So a little too over-aggressive from the Lady Broncos.
Missed opportunity there for the Broncos, as they had numbers on the attack if the referee didn't blow their whistle. But after a second of deliberation, he decided that the feet getting tangled up was enough to ward the foul.
That it was, as we see the ball rolled up all the way back to Kenzie Ballinger, goalkeeper for the Broncos, and she's going to boot it towards the halfway line. Broncos are able to win the ball and control it down this right-hand side in front of the broadcast booth. Nice turn away from the pressure there by Mackenzie Cunningham, and now she's trying to play the ball through the middle there. Almost found the striker. It's going to be cleared away by the Broncos to this far side. Seems like they've had a lot of success on that far left side of their formation today.
It's where a good amount of their attacks, especially in the last 15 to 20 minutes, have come from the Broncos. They've really been trying to work it from the outside in on that left side there. They've had a couple of nice passes, but so far they haven't been able to get the first touch to secure it when it comes in the middle. We've seen a couple balls deflected off a forward's feet to the goalkeeper. We've seen a couple balls accidentally played backwards, which results in those 25 to 30-yard shots we've been seeing for the Broncos. Like I said earlier, they're getting 90% of the way there. You just feel like Boise State's going to break through and score the equalizer here soon, as this might be the opportunity for them to do it.
Yeah, here's an opportunity here, but got a shoulder off the defender. And that's just good defending there by the Thorns as they shepherd that opportunity there from Claire LaRocca out.
There's a ton of individual talent on this Thorns team. We can see it all over the field here. One-on-one, the Thorns kind of head and shoulders are above the Broncos right now.
I think I would tend to agree, as they're doing a better job dealing, I think, with the opportunities the Broncos are trying to deliver as they're getting going down that left side that we have been talking about here, trying to cut inside and go potentially for something at the back door, but not quite going towards the goal, not quite not quite finding the teammate making the run at the back post.
I like that shot, though. I feel like that was a good shot there, right there on the edge of the 18. She had a good line to the goal, and she was able to get the ball up in the air a little bit. If she was able to curl it back in or even launch it maybe 5 yards further to the left, that was headed straight towards that back post.
Yeah, and you also had a good run there from the back post there by Claire LaRocca, trying to find a way to potentially get onto the end of that potential cross or rebound of a shot if it spilled out by the goalkeeper. And it looks like we're getting another throw here for the Thorns on this near side.
Another possible reason we're possibly seeing the Broncos go off to the left so much is the left back that'll be nearest to you, nearest to our broadcasting garage here for the Thorns, has been very stingy in denying anything that's come her way so far. She's really been a thorn in the side for the Broncos here in this first half.
That was quite punny of you.
Oh, it was horrible.
Well, we are approaching the added time portion of this first half, and here's a big opportunity here for Claire LaRocca. Can she get it past the defender? It's a little too far and a little too close to the goalkeeper, as Fern Rogel again will claim that one. And the referee blows the whistle, and that is the end of the first half here from this friendly match between the Thorns and the Lady Broncos club team. It's 1-0 in favor of the Boise Thorns. Riley, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Overall, I thought it was a good first half from both teams. I think the Thorns got a lot more comfortable as they went in, and they really started to play some team ball here in the last 15 to 10 minutes. The Broncos, on the other hand, have to be a little bit disappointed. They came out here, they wanted to take advantage of the Thorns' inexperience in playing as a team in the first few minutes, which they weren't able to do. Instead, the Thorns were able to score that counterattack goal to go up 1-0. And since then, they just haven't been able to complete anything offensively. I would say they've probably been winning the possession battle, especially in the last 25 minutes of that first half there. But they just haven't been able to put the ball in the back of the net yet. I think there's going to be more opportunities for them here in this second half, especially going with the win this time. So some of those passes that floated in the air for them there in this first half are going to be pushed further downfield here in the second half. I think, we got strong odds of seeing an equalizer here.
You know, I think I tend to agree. I mean, I think they're going to be a little disappointed with themselves. The way that they started the game, conceding in the first, 10 minutes to a team that, as we mentioned, is still basically conducting their tryouts for their preseason. So they're still kind of, a lot of these players very unfamiliar with each other. So the fact that they were unable to, they allowed that to happen, they're going to be very disappointed with that. But I think they really grew into the game there, just missing that final pass and maybe a couple of extra runners going into the box to give themselves some more opportunities. But I definitely think that they, especially going the other way, having a chance to sit down at halftime, kind of talk about some things, definitely could be on the cards.
It looks like we will have a switch in keeper here for the Boise Thorns as we see Fern Rogel exiting the field. Fern Rogel will be substituting out, and Brittany Houghton, the goalkeeper #1, will be substituting in for the Thorns. Let's see if the Broncos can take advantage of a goalkeeper with, cold legs and hands.
Yeah, that's going to be the key here. I mean, we saw at the beginning of the match, we did see the Thorns almost have a calamity there. As we saw miscommunication between Fern Rogel and her back line there. So got to be wondering if that potentially is on the minds of some of these defenders as they kind of did shore some things up there. But their new keeper, new way of communicating definitely could still be liable for some of those miscommunications.
Well, with the UPSL season coming up here in the middle of May, being as long as it is, you're going to need to have depth everywhere. So the Thorns getting as many players in as possible and as many different positions and combinations as possible is going to be a good thing for them. In speaking with Kelly Potter, she actually hopes that the Thorns are only in the UPSL for 1 or 2 more seasons. She has very lofty goals for the program as a whole, hoping to make a move up to the WPSL and possibly even getting a USL. That is the second highest level of women's soccer in the United States, only behind the NWSL. Trying to get a USL team here in Boise is the eventual goal in about a half decade.
It's a very ambitious goal, but you know what? The program that she oversaw before they became the Boise Thorns, was very, very successful. I mean, as we mentioned, she did help have her team win the championship the last season around. So, she's very, very successful at what she does, and I think I got no reason to doubt her.
Well, I don't either. And talking to her, I would have to imagine it's probably a bit nerve-wracking coming in with a squad that hasn't played together, but she was cool, calm, and composed. She's got a core group of girls that she knows she can rely on, and as we've seen here in the first half, some of the new talent that they have out on their side is starting to pan out for them.
Absolutely, and just a quick little bit here as well. I mean, about the Boise State women's club team, just so our viewers here on Boise State University Television Productions know that Club Sports relies completely on funding from the players and donations through fundraisers. So every cent counts, and the women's club team this season has raised over $3,300, second to, I believe, the women's judo team, club team. So if you're enjoying the action today, be sure to head over to give.boisestate.edu to help them raise some money, because they are attempting to go to a tournament in the fall that they're currently fundraising for.
Yeah, they're hoping to head down to the Aztec tournament here, hosted by San Diego State University on San Diego State's campus in October. And they're going to need a bit of funding to do that, especially if a month or two later, then they have to fund their way out to nationals, assuming they have the success they've had for the past 2 years again. So every cent counts, guys. Plane tickets are expensive. Hotels are expensive. Many of these teams, many of these tournaments, clubs have to pay dues to the tournament to participate in them, because tournaments cost money to hold. And so every dollar matters. $3,300 is a good start, but it's not enough to cover the expenses of a club sports team, especially a team that has success and travels around the country.
Absolutely. So please, if you are enjoying the action, be sure to head over to give.boisestate.edu, like we said earlier. So, it is interesting, because the kind of talking about the way that this game is played out, I'll be curious to see how many substitutions we could potentially see. I mean, it is a friendly, so we might see the Broncos start to make more use of their roster. They do have a fair number of players that they could potentially look to call on here in the second half. And we saw a few of them come on at various points there throughout the first half. I mean, one that comes to mind immediately that I think made a pretty positive impact was number 18, Claire LaRocca, on that right side, kind of right midfielder, right wing position, and I thought she had some really good opportunities there for the Broncos. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what their approach is going to be from that perspective coming in here into the second half. And just a bit of a reminder of where they're at in their season so far. So they are currently winding down their season, where their most recent action, as we mentioned earlier, was the inaugural Bridger Classic in Bozeman, Montana. Well, now we have a bit of we have a couple of interviews here with Kira Terrell from Boise State Women's Club team. I'm so sorry for the pronunciation, but she's graciously agreed to come talk to us here. Well, what have you thought of the game so far?
I think we've got some work to do, but I think we got a good game going so far.
Well, I apologize for I'm sure I completely butchered your name there. So why do you tell the viewers at home how pronouncing your name?
Kira Terrell.
Terrell, okay, thank you. So, Kira, I mean, you mind talking to us a little bit about that tournament win in Montana, in Bozeman, Montana? Did you go?
I didn't attend, but Kaya did. She could probably speak to it a little more than I can.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a really great weekend. Montana was super fun, great weather. The girls played really great. It was definitely a needed tournament for us. We definitely needed to get back on switching the ball through the back and really spreading out and stuff, and the girls did a really good job of that. Yeah, and it was a really fun win. Obviously, when you go out of state, you definitely want to come back with a win. We got our trophy, so yeah, it was definitely a good weekend.
So what would you say the best performance was? I mean, because you guys had, I would say, a pretty tough, slate there with Montana, Montana State, and you guys ended up going unbeaten. I heard you had a big win in the final game against Montana State.
Yeah.
So kind of talk to us about that.
Yeah, the first game, we got pretty lucky in the first 5 minutes. They got a handball in the box, so we set up the game with a 1-0. And then Jordan Henderson actually scored all 3 goals that game, and she did a great job of keeping the team together. Everyone was super tired the day before. They all played 3 games back to back to back, so the girls were super tired, super sore, but they did a really good job of maintaining their composure and using their tiredness to play smarter, and that's definitely a huge thing for us. We can play frantic sometimes, and the girls definitely calmed down and were able to swing the ball around and play around them, and that was different than the first game that we played Montana State. We tied them 0-0. So yeah, it was definitely a good win for sure.
All right, well, thank you very much. Congratulations on that win and a great season so far.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was a few members of the Boise State Women's Club soccer team joining us up here in the broadcast booth for halftime, and now we welcome back Riley Chappelle.
Thank you for having me back.
It was interesting kind of talking with them as we resume the second half, or start the second half, I should say. So.
Yes, it was. And as we get the second half underway here, as Alden and I switch positions. The Thorns already pressing here in the first minute. Boise State looking to get it out of dodge with a little playback. Thorns being very aggressive though as Bailey Dunez has re-entered the game. She was the spark in the first half of that first half for the Thorns, who made the pass that ended up scoring the goal.
Yeah, I really liked her game in the first half. Very creative, inventive, just trying to be a nuisance.
Trying to be a nuisance for sure. As Boise State has come out with a new goalkeeper as well. That goalkeeper will be number 1, Emily Funk. She will be in net for the Broncos here in this second half. Thorns pressing up. Hard foul there from the Broncos. Thorns ball. That's number 21, who we do not have on Boise Thorns program, who was fouled. Thorns will take the free kick. Looks like they're going to play a deep one into the box here. Dunez looks to play it, but a nice header cleared out by Boise State. And that ball will be out. It'll be a Thorns throw. Thorns so far controlling possession here in the first 5 minutes. That ball looks to be out, and it is. It will go back to the Broncos. As I say that, the old commentator Jinx comes in, and the Broncos get the ball right back.
You know, it's been interesting to kind of start both halves. I mean, and it's obviously very early. We're only like 2 minutes into the second half here, but seeing the energy, from the Thorns again to start the half, it feels like it's causing more problems again for the Broncos.
It certainly has been. Let's see if this is the tail of the start of the first 2 halves or not. As the ball goes right back to the Thorns, Broncos have yet to cross into their own attacking side. Looking to turn there, the Thorns, but well defended there from the Boise State forward, who forces the bad pass. Let's see if the Broncos can switch the field now as they will attempt to play back to the right. Now they're switching the field and trying to head left. And a poor first touch goes right back to the Thorns, who now have a 3-on-3. Pushing up, that'll be number 15 for the Thorns. That is Riley Stout, but that ball will be well defended there from the keeper, Emily Funk, who makes her first play of the second half. 1-0 ball game here, as we are about 3 to 4 minutes into this second half.
Yeah, on that last opportunity there from the Thorns, who else but was playing the pass there? But number 7, Bailey Dunez.
She has been all over the field today. Real pain in the side of the Broncos. That ball will go back to the Thorns here. No real opportunities yet for either team here in this second half. Thorns looking to change that, though, as they're matriculating the ball down the field with another throw-in.
Yeah, both teams really enjoying that far side so far to start this second half.
Well, you know, we saw a lot of action on this side, closest to the broadcast booth in the first half, so it's natural that we're seeing a lot of action. It seems like the Thorns are comfortable attacking from the left and the Broncos are comfortable from attacking from the right. So I expect we'll see most of the play here in this second half on the far side of the field. Ball played back in there by the Thorns, possibly a handball, but no call from the referee. And that ball is played into open space where it'll be scooped up by the Broncos. A nice touch there to juke out a defender. And the ball is reversed back. That's going to be number 26 for the Broncos, Bryn Sommer with the ball. On the near side now, Broncos looking for an opportunity. They play it back and then knock it forward. A nice touch there from the Broncos to keep it in bounds. Ball played up by the Thorns, and they're out of harm's way. Looking to make an attack of their own now. And that ball will be out for a Thorns throw.
Both teams just not quite able to link together as well as we were seeing there towards the end of the opening half of this friendly, and feels like they're still kind of working their way out of halftime.
This beginning of the second half has also been played at a pretty frantic pace too, so I'd be curious to see how the stamina of these players is affected as the game goes on here. As the ball is being passed back to a Thorns player, that'll be a free kick from about 10 yards into the attacking area. Attacking side of the field for the Thorns. That ball's played up, trying to find a head. It finds the head of a Broncos defender and goes right into the hands of Emily Funk. Her second action here. Less than 5 minutes into this second half. Ball's bouncing around in the defensive line of the Thorns now. That through ball is played too hot, and it will go right into the hands of Funk once more, who scoops it up. Over the heads of everybody, that'll be out at midfield for a throw for the Thorns. And Alton, as this game frantically goes back and forth a little bit here, do you think either of these teams are comfortable with this pace, or does one of these teams want to kind of slow it down and start having more intentional and thoughtful possessions?
I feel like the Broncos are going to want to have that more thoughtful, intentional possession. I mean, that's kind of, you know, talking with some of their players at halftime, that's really what it seemed like was a big key to their success in Montana when they won the tournament. It really felt like that more intentional, thoughtful decision-making was a big reason for their success there. So I think it's going to be favoring the Thorns for that more frantic pace.
They also mentioned, too, that the fatigue forced them to be a bit more thoughtful. So as this game goes on, we could possibly see some more controlled, tempoed possessions from the Broncos. As we'll have a massive wave of substitutions for the Broncos now. 3 players out and 3 players in. Players out, as I try to gather all the numbers, include Terlyn Heineman. It also includes Kirsten Larson. And there's one more player whose number I will try to see that also came in the 3 out, 3 on substitution. And that ball may go over the fence. Oh boy. Thank goodness we have somebody assisting with getting the ball on the road there. That one's bouncing into the parking garage. This play will resume. Broncos with an opportunity here. Slightly tripped up, and a foul will be called. Broncos will have a free kick from about 3 yards outside of the 18, right on the edge of it there. This will be a good opportunity for them. Now, Alton, when you're lined up here, do you prefer a shot or do you prefer feeding the ball into the box to try to get it off somebody's head or foot?
That's a tough one. I mean, I think it depends on your personnel. I personally like feeding it into the box because you want to create as much chaos as you can, and either you got somebody who's good in the air and wins headers, or you find a way to get the ball to bounce to somebody.
This will be number 2, Jordan Henderson, taking the kick. Henderson will go for a shot on goal, and that one will fly over the crossbar. I think that one caught the wind a little bit. It'll be a goal kick for the Thorns. Only a 2-man wall there from that far out. Are you surprised to see that?
Not from that far out, no, because especially I think when you got to consider, I mean, I think it looked like the Broncos committed a bunch of members of their team into the box, so you got to make sure everybody's marked there. You don't want to have somebody that doesn't have someone to watch them.
Sure thing. Thorns booted up, playing a bit of kick and run now. Can their forward catch up to it? Defender's got a step, and it looks like the defender will win it depending on her first touch, and she just plays it out. Good pressure applied there by the Thorns forward.
It's a good way to get her team up the field, get the Broncos out of a dangerous territory for her.
Yes, it is, but the Thorns are pressing again. That's Bailey Dunez, who plays it right into the legs of a defender, and it deflects out. That defender being Taylor Arrieta. So once again, we have a ball rolling around in the road here. I'm surprised it hasn't hit any cars yet, parked or driving.
Yeah, surprised by that factoid as well.
Way to use body positioning there from the midfielder for the Thorns to deny the Boise defender. Little bit of a swing and the miss there, and that one will be picked up by Funk. Booted forward now. Thorns player looking to get it. She may have been offsides, but it looks like the AR will allow it. This is number 16 for the Thorns. And that shot is deflected out. We are going to have, I believe, our first corner kick of the ball game now, thanks to the aggressive play there from Rachel Fates, the forward for the Boise Thorns. Taking the corner kick now. We will try to get you the number here in a second. It appears that will be number 11, Bryn Walker, taking the corner. Walker feeds it in. It's a low driver. That ball is deflected out. Who's it off of? It will be awarded to the Broncos. A goal kick off the Thorns.
So it was a good corner there. I mean, you got it where you needed to be, just past the 6-yard area, so it's a little too far for the goalkeeper to come out and get it, and just hoping you get the right deflection there coming off of the kick.
That ball misplayed there by the midfielder for Boise State. That'll be out for another Thorns throw. Boise State just struggling to maintain possession again, kind of like we saw in the first half a little bit. Boise State went through a couple spates where they just weren't able to string passes together. As Funk boots one way up there. That's a good kick, but there's nobody home. Well played ball there. Thorns playing around in their back line, and now they boot it up. Thorns with some numbers, possibly opportunity for a through ball. A nice touch there from the Thorns, and the Thorns have an opportunity. Oh, and the ball cannot be connected on. That was a good pass there, just a little bit in front of Dunez. Dunez had a step on the defender, and Funk was out of position. If she was able to get a foot on that, that would have been a sure goal.
Definitely, I agree. Really good play there from the Thorns there. They just did a good job playing right through the Broncos press. I mean, calm on the ball, just passing it around, waiting for their openings, taking advantage, and it looks like a corner kick potentially for the Thorns.
We will have another corner kick here for the Boise Thorns. That'll be 2 in the last 5 minutes. And one more time, it will be a quick corner this time. Back to number 11 for the Thorns, who plays it into the box. Can anybody get a head on it? Ball gets through, but nobody's able to get a foot on it. It's going to keep rolling, and it will be out for a goal kick. 2 missed opportunities very quickly there for the Thorns, as the Thorn had 2 players who could have made a play on that ball. Neither was able to make contact, and it rolled straight through.
Yeah, dangerous opportunity again, and just not quite able to find a way to get it into the back of the net there.
Thorns once more with the ball. I sound like a broken record now, but every time the Broncos have a goal kick, the Thorns just get possession right back and start working their way down the field once more. Broncos with the throw in now. Can they hold on to a little bit of possession? That one will be headed out. Let's do it all over again. That ball will get up to the Bronco front line. That'll be Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson, who scored 3 goals against Montana State last weekend in the championship for the Bridger Classic, hoping to put 1 more up to bring the equalizer for the Broncos. That ball played up to the Thorns. There's nobody on them. Misplayed by the defender, and there's the shot, and it will be scooped up by Funk. Good play there by Funk to receive that one in the chest and fall on it to prevent any deflections, as there was a Thorn attacker right next to her when she got that ball. Well played off the head there by the Thorns, and it's back up to their front line. And here we go again. That's number 16 for the Thorns. That's Rachel Fates, and that ball will roll out. We will have a goal kick.
Although she was unable to connect on that pass, Rachel Fate's been the problem here for the Broncos to deal with in the second half. She's had multiple opportunities to both creating chances for her teammates and for herself. I mean, just like Bailey Dinez was in the first half.
Yeah, there's been very good forward play from the Thorns here all day long. The Broncos have been struggling with it on their defensive line. Something that I've been very impressed with the Thorns is just the quality of their first touches in the front lines too. They've been able to receive long passes very nicely at their feet, and they've been able to make nice turns and get steps on defenders. Something that the Broncos haven't been able to do in their own front line so far today. As here go the Thorns once more. Trying to beat her to the ball. She does. And that one will just be played a bit too softly. The Broncos scoop it up and clear it out. Trying to survive is the aim for the Broncos currently, Alton.
Yeah, just gotta hang on for this pressure here as they look like they're gonna make some substitutions, and both sides are at least making one.
Coming in for the Thorns will be number 14, Esme Galvan. Coming in for the Broncos will be Mackenzie Cunningham and Brenna Friesen, who is here. We were misled. Welcome to the game, Brenna Friesen, a senior playing for the last time for the Boise State Women's Club team today. Congratulations to her. That ball is slightly overstepped. Dunez takes it off the outside of the foot, but it'll be scooped up by Funk. Dunez just not able to get enough power off the outside of the foot there. Broncos with the ball, turning slowly and playing the ball up now. Oh, and here's an opportunity for the Broncos now. This is the closest they've been all second half, as there's a quick throw in. Can the Broncos get it into the center here? A good turn. And the Broncos will have a corner. Best opportunity for the Broncos in a long while here. The corner will be taken by number 22, Jordan Henderson, on the far side of the field. Broncos pushing up. They have all but two defenders up in the box now. Henderson plays in a low liner, and it will be deflected out and cleared by the Thorns.
It still feels like the Broncos. I mean, this has been a little bit better here in the last few minutes. That final ball has been the missing ingredient so far to their game today.
This has been the best sequence they've had in a long while, as that one will go out for a goal kick. It's good to see Boise State get aggressive there. They had a little bit of space to work with in the midfield, and they were able to make a nice pass up, and Jordan Henderson was able to fight off the defender and ultimately have the ball deflect off the defender for that corner. But when taking the corner, that low liner, there was nobody home. Everybody was on the backside of the box looking to run up, but it looked like that corner was taken maybe a skosh too early.
Yeah, it looked like they were just not on the same page with what was delivered.
As Boise State getting aggressive here now. And that's a good step from the defender to win the ball. Playing with it in the back line now. Looking for a hole, looking for an opportunity. And that one is slightly misplayed by the midfielder. Thorns now with the ball once more. It's number 21, who I've mentioned is a pest. Dangerous ball here. Played in for the Broncos. They got an opportunity. Keeper's out. And that will be offsides. Offsides for the Broncos there. That's disappointing, as they had the keeper, that is Brittany Houghton. They had her out of position. If they were able to get a foot on ball, that possibly could have gone in the net.
Yeah, that's your eyes light up moment. You see you're all alone. The goalkeeper's not anywhere in position. If you can just get fed the ball there and not quite able to remain onside there. I think the ball just went a little bit too far backwards for the Broncos.
I believe so. Good step there for the Broncos. Back up to their front line now. Can they get a turn? They cannot. Ball's played back to the back line. Boise State seeming to find their stride a little bit now. It's almost an inverse of the first half, where it took the Thorns about 10 minutes to find their stride. When the Thorns found their stride in the first half, they immediately scored. Let's see if the Broncos can do the same. Throw in there for BSU. Played back up to the Thorns. Ball bouncing around a little bit now. It's controlled by the Thorns. Can they push it forward? Good step there from the defender, but it still trickles through. Now the Broncos will take it up the right side and try to get it out of dodge. A good touch there from the BSU defender to get a foot on it and keep moving in the right direction. But that one will be out for a Boise State throw, or for a Thorns throw rather. Alton, at this point, if you're the Thorns and you see Boise State kind of struggling to maintain possession, are you feeling good about the way that your team is playing?
Oh, I think you're feeling great.
You're feeling great about the way your team is playing?
It's, I mean, it's a lot of players who've not played a ton of minutes, if at all, together, or practiced together, and so to come into a team that's playing mid-season right now and be leading them right now 63 minutes in, it's a dang good start.
Yes, it is. As the Broncos had an opportunity there, but it was thwarted by the back line. But they get the ball right back now. Can they make one more pass? And they cannot. That ball will go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, but the Broncos it seems like they're starting to find some answers again down those those outside areas. I think that's where they've really got to be focusing their attention, because it feels like they're just not able to deal with the amount of players in the midfield that the Thorns are putting right now.
Well, based off the conversation we had with the Boise State players at halftime, I think they need to operate a bit more of their game through number 22, Jordan Henderson. She is their biggest goal-scoring threat, and every time the Broncos have made any sort of press up in the last 20-30 minutes, she's been involved in it. That ball will be passed in for the Thorns. Stolen back by the Broncos there. Back to Funk. .65 minutes down. Roughly 25 more minutes to go here in this game. The Boise Thorns lead the Boise State University Women's Club team 1-0 in the last game for the Boise State Women's Club team this season, the first of many to come for the Thorns as they prepare for their upcoming UPSL semi-pro season that starts halfway through May here. The Boise Thorns, formerly known as the Idaho Cutthroats, the champions of the Mountain West Division of the UPSL last year by defeating Albion SC Idaho by a score of 2-1, looking to repeat as now the Thorns this year. Half the team made up of former players on the Cutthroat, half the team brand new, some brand new to semi-pro soccer, and one even a high schooler. Ball is played up there for the Thorns. Looking to find the feet of a forward, and finds the feet of a Boise State defender instead, who plays it up. Bouncing around a little bit now. Gyrating around midfield almost. That ball is going to float up in the wind a little bit and bounce backwards. Dangerous here for Boise State if they don't get a good foot on it. But they do, and they're able to play it up to the midfield. They play it to a player on a run, but that one goes through her legs, and it will be out for a Thorns throw. Once again, folks, we apologize for the insistent wind. We are up here on the 5th floor of our broadcasting garage, the Lincoln Street parking garage across the street here from Lincoln Intramural Field, and it is a blustery day in Boise, Idaho. Very nice day, about 60 degrees out currently, barely a cloud in the sky, but wind gusts of 15 to 20 miles an hour all day, which you are experiencing at home through your speakers.
Yeah, instead of only hearing us, you also get, in some of the game, you also get to hear the wind that's been incessant all game.
That's Jordan Henderson with the ball, a nice play there. On the side there, that was number 24, Mackenzie Cunningham, rather, as it will go out for a corner kick for the Broncos.
Well, we saw last time they took a corner kick, it was a bit of a low drive to the near post, but they had most of their team position at the back post, so we'll have to see if to try to do this time.
With a bit more air now. Cleared out by the Thorns. Can the Broncos get it back into the mixer? That one will bounce out. It will be a throw for the Thorns, a quick throw for the Thorns. They do not have numbers. They're trying to push more forwards. They're switching the ball to the left sides now. Good defense there from the Broncos. Great job of staying in formation.
And they did a good job not panicking, realizing they had the numbers there to deal with the problem, and eventually when the ball was presented to themselves, they did a good job clearing it out.
Yes, they did. Good deflection there from the Broncos, getting it back up into their half. Aggressive play there from the two players. Elbows being thrown. Boise State wants a foul, but none is called, and it will be out for a Thorns throw. The Thorns fighting off every Boise State attempt successfully here. But Boise State saying that they are not done yet. Ball being played out to the side, a little too aggressively there. A Thorns player gets it, and it is out. It'll be a Boise State throw. From the deep corner now, what's your strategy here on a throw-in?
I think if you've got somebody who could throw this into the box, I mean, I think you try it.
Elizabeth Pauley actually has been known to do, I don't know if you've ever seen one of these in person, a flip throw. She performed a couple of them at Indian Hills Community College in Ottumwa, Iowa during her time there.
Seen a few of them, and sometimes it depends on how, it just depends on the situation, how effective they can be, if you got enough room for the run-up and things like that.
There's probably not enough room for the run-up here with the concrete track being so close to the side of the field. As that one is launched in. Over to the opposite side now. Boise State looking for a window, trying to play it into the middle here. Drop back. Is this their opportunity to play it into the middle? It is. Ball played into the middle, challenged successfully by the Thorns, but it's put right back into the mixer by Boise State, and the shot goes a little bit wide. An ambitious shot there from Boise State. May have also been a pass as there was a player on the back post, but regardless, it goes out, and it will be a goal kick for the Thorns as more substitutes come in for the Broncos. That is number 7, Taylor Arrieta, and number 18, Claire LaRocca, both coming in for the Broncos. Broncos getting a ton of fresh legs in here in this second half, trying to get that one goal to bring this game level and possibly get their first victory against a semi-pro team.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a huge accomplishment. Obviously, they're in season right now, so they're a little bit more cohesive, I would think, than than the Thorns. But this is still a semi-pro side, just a club team.
Yes, it is. Boise State attacking. They've been very aggressive here in the last 5 minutes, and most of the game has been on the attacking side of the field for Boise State as the Thorns will have this throw. Good step there from the Broncos. Another good step there from the Broncos, but cleared out by the Thorns. Now it's number 15. That's going to be Riley Stout with the ball. Stout lays it back. Reversing field now is the Thorns. And that ball is stolen by the Broncos off the misplay. Broncos now looking to get aggressive here. And a good step there from the defender for the Boise Thorns. That is number 11, Michelle Dorn, who plays the ball up now. And a way to use the body there by the Boise State defender.
Good job out muscling that attacker there. Don't want them to just get a straight shot at getting the ball before your goalkeeper.
That ball will go out. It will be a throw for the Broncos as there is a substitution for the Thorns. Number 18, Maya Moulet coming back into the game. Moulet was able to get some things going in the first half. Let's see if she can repeat that in the second half, as that ball is thrown way up the line there by the Broncos into their attacking side. Ball played up and played off the foot of a defender. Thorns will have possession back and immediately give it back to the Broncos at midfield. Misplayed by the Boise State defender, but nobody pressing too hard from the Thorns. She's able to drop it back. Funk with the ball, looking to reverse field. It does truly seem as if the Thorns are comfortable just letting this game end in a 1-0 final.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some opportunities here to increase their lead, but it just feels like they're comfortable defending the rest of, so far in most of this second half, because it doesn't feel like the Broncos have really created a whole lot of golden chances.
It does not. It does not. I mean, Boise State, they're getting 90% of the way there, as I keep saying, but they just haven't been able to finish off that last 10%. And it seems like the Thorns know that. It seems like the Thorns have been playing mostly a defensive game and waiting for Boise State to make that mistake in the 18. Coach Kelly Potter will likely be very pleased with this result, as will head coach Eric Simonson and assistant coach Campy. They are on other duties today, so Kelly Potter is taking over head coach duties, but the head coach of this team going into the season will be Eric Simonson, and the assistant coach will be Gavin Campy. Head coach Eric Simonson is a former assistant coach for Division I women's soccer team here at Boise State back in the early 2010s, and previously he was the director of coaching and player development at FC Nova. FC Nova, another one of those youth programs that was absorbed into the Boise Thorns in the last few years. Boise Thorns slowly becoming a conglomerate of teams in the area, looking to really become nationally recognized and also do things such as host a semi-pro side, which very few youth development teams in the Pacific Northwest are able to do. What experience do you have playing Selector Premier Soccer? Alton's from Texas, for those of you who don't know. Not the main sport in Texas,
no.
But I know there is a ton of talent down there because those schools are massive.
Yes. I was never good enough for that kind of a level, but I knew several people in high school who were actually ended up going to D1 schools to play soccer. So there's definitely a big focus on that, especially in the last few years, as more professional teams have put money into developing the youth game.
Well, talk to me a little bit about the growth of the game in general, because you and I were talking earlier, and you're a self-admitted Wolves fan of the Premier League. Apparently, I don't know, those of you who can check the score at home, but apparently the Wolves were up early, and so Alton was quite happy. But talk about just the growth of things such as the Premier League in the United States and how it's kind of helped bring in new fans of the game.
I think a big thing has just been the accessibility of the sport to watch. I mean, it's become more accessible in the last decade than it's been at any point prior to that, and I think that's
Moulet with the ball there, and that one's knocked over the crossbar by Maya Moulet. A good opportunity and a well-played ball there to the back post to Moulet, who was on the run, but she just got a bit too far under it and launched it up.
But it's been, the growth of the game has definitely been as the availability of the game has been available to, because, as a country, we're very much consumer of, we want to see the best, and the best is overseas. And as we've watched that, the money, has started to be invested here locally and domestically for a lot of different areas, a lot of different teams, from all the way from pro to even just the youth and semi-pro clubs, and it's helped grow the game a ton in the last decade.
Well, I was not fortunate enough to play soccer a whole lot growing up, as this is a dangerous ball here to the Thorns keeper, and she is able to get it just inside of the 18 before the Boise State attacker got to it. But I grew up with two sisters who played very high-level soccer and both had opportunities to go play in college. They both chose otherwise. Injuries and life happens, as it does. But I have always enjoyed watching soccer. I've enjoyed calling this game with you here today and all the lovely people here at University Television Productions. I want to give a quick thank you to all those working over in the control booth, all those working the cameras today. It's not that cold up here. It's not cold like the rugby tournament was a few weeks ago, but it's still windy and it's still hours of your time for free. The only one making money here is the department.
Absolutely, and can't thank the department without thanking the head man of it all, Nathan Snyder, for helping organize everything.
Nathan Snyder is absent today, so in lieu of Nathan, we have our fearless leader, Bryce. Bryce also spends a little bit of time working with Apple TV on their MLS games, so we appreciate Bryce's expertise today. That ball headed straight up into the air. Can the Thorns get a body part on it? That ball's brought down, but they will be offsides, and it will be a free kick from inside their own 18 for Boise State. Still 1-0. We have roughly 13 minutes left to go here in this game. Boise State looking for the equalizer with almost 10 minutes left. It would surely be disappointing to be shut out in your last home game of the season.
That it would, and you know, it's going to be interesting to see this next like 10 to 12 minutes here as we have the clock continue to tick down here, because you know the Broncos, they got to find a way through here. I mean, that's the only way to say it, because they've had a couple of chances but just not quite able to be on the same page in their 18, and got to find a way to just get connected and make that final pass.
They certainly do, and that ball goes to the substitute Peyton Pierce, who is in. Ball played to Pierce one more time. Pierce fighting off a defender. Does so successfully. Plays the ball off a Thorns player and it goes right to the forward, and then that ball is just misplayed out of bounds. That's number 18 with the misplay there, Claire LaRocca. Disappointing there to stop the Bronco momentum and give the ball back to the Thorns. But a nice sequence there from Peyton Pierce, the substitute.
Good introduction, I think, to her time here as soon as she stepped on the field. Got her team going in the right direction.
Good step there from the Broncos defender. Ball on the right side now. Has the pass off to the right if they want it, they don't. Instead, plays it into the center. That ball's defended by number 6 for the Thorns. Goes right back to the Broncos. They're playing around with it at the top of the 18, firing off a shot. It's deflected and cleared out of danger by the Thorns. Broncos playing with more urgency now, understanding that time is not on their side. 10 minutes left to go, 1-0, Thorns up.
We have a substitution coming in here for the Thorns, as I believe that is going to be number 10. That's going to be Vic Pislari.
The high schooler back in for the Thorns. 2 new substitutes for the Broncos, getting fresh legs on. Sensing the urgency now. Thorns compacting their defense. Ball played up there. It'll be Pislari fresh into the game. A nice touch. Played to number 16 for the Thorns, who takes the shot, and it's wide, high and right. Number 16 for the Thorns, that's Rachel Fates. Had the opportunity, just got a little bit too under it, sent it off wide.
Yeah. Great introduction there back in the match from Vic Pislari, though.
Vic Pislari, a very, very talented young player. Should do great things for this Thorns side in the upcoming season. That much talent until still in high school. Impressive stuff from Pislari. That ball is played off the chest for the Broncos. They're going to play it back to their back line and look for an opportunity to begin their attack. Aggressive play there from Pislari, but she will not be rewarded with the throw. The Broncos will have the ball. Tons of energy there from the youngin. That ball will be played in the middle now. Thorns have an opportunity here. That's number 14 with the ball. Ball played to the top of the box, and it's cleared out successfully by the Broncos, who then give it right back to the Thorns, and they play it out to the left side. Shot on goal. Oh, great save there by Emily Funk. An absolute rocket off the foot of that Thorns player from outside of the 18, and Emily Funk, full extension, gets her right hand up and knocks it just over the crossbar to keep the game at 1-0.
Wow, that was incredible stuff there. I mean, what a shot that was. Incredible. I thought that was going in. It seemed like time was standing still there for a second, and then great stop there by Funk, managing to get back across to that near post and tipping it up and over. Not an easy stop.
Maya Moulet, that came off of her right foot, an absolute rifle, a knuckleballer as well. Those things move back and forth in the air a little bit, so a very impressive stop there from Emily Funk, as now the ball is sent into the box and directly to Moulet, who plays it off her foot. On the turn, can't get it, and Funk diving makes another save. Very strong 45-second sequence there from Emily Funk. If the Broncos can get the equalizer, we'll have to go back to this exact moment and thank Emily Funk for not letting this become out of reach. Peyton Pierce now with the ball on the left side, plays it into the middle. Broncos can't get a foot on it. Back to the line of the Thorns. And that ball will be off a Thorns player and out for a throw. 7 minutes and counting left. What do you think, Alton?
I think the Broncos, I think they're probably gonna control the proceedings here in the last few minutes. I think that was probably one of the last gasps we might see from the Thorns. I think they might try to just set up shop here to be primarily defense first and make sure that they don't give any big chances up.
Well, we will see. As I've said before in the rugby broadcast, you and I are not betting men, or at least we shouldn't. Thorns trying to get it out of their own back line here. Coming up the right side strongly. This is number 11 for the Thorns, Michelle Dorn. Broncos with the ball now midfield, playing it to their back line. Once again, looking to reset the attack. They play it up to the right side there. Not many bodies over there, tons of open space. But a good play there by the high schooler Pislari. We have said her name a whole lot since she came on about 5 minutes ago. Moulet with a good turn, but could not put a foot on the ball. It'll be played up to the left side for the Broncos. They don't have numbers, looking to push up. Good play there by the defender, and a clear for the Thorns. That's number 7 there on the left side, the forward, Taylor Arrieta. It's number 23 for the Broncos now with the ball. That's Adriana Rinker. She plays it up to the right side. Rinker with the ball back once more. Looking to start an opportunity, but once again, the Thorns, their defense just so compact. On the right side we go now. Will they play it up the side, or will they try to go into the middle? Into the middle they go, off a foot, and the Thorns are able to successfully clear it. The Broncos will have a throw right above the E, or right above the B of Boise State.
You know, it just feels like they're doing a lot. They're getting a lot more success when they hang on, and stay on the outside, for areas of the field here. I mean, they keep trying to go inside, and that's where the majority of these Thorns players are.
I agree. I think that Boise State, if they're going to get the equalizer here, it'll be working up the right side and getting it into one of their players in the center to get a body part on it and knock it into the goal. And here we are, working up the side. In the middle we go. And that pass on a bit too direct of a line to the goal will be picked up by Brittany Houghton. Houghton taking her time now. Boots it deep downfield. Thorns know they only need to hold on for 5 more minutes to get the result. Forwards applying pressure for the Thorns. Boise State slowly moving it up the field. They're at midfield now. Playing it out to the left side. Thorns applying good on-ball pressure, but a nice pass there. Broncos up the left side now. Can they get numbers in the box? Pass in off the foot of a Boise State player at the edge of the 18. Back out they go. This is number 9 for Boise State, Claire Esping. A shot on goal from the Broncos from way out, and it comes off the side netting. A good opportunity and a good shot there for the Broncos, just off the side netting. 3 more yards in, Houghton may have missed it. Instead, it'll be a goal kick for the Thorns as Houghton takes her time getting to that 6. No reason to rush.
No, not at all, man. From this angle, I thought for a second that it was in. Then I saw it bounce on that back side, and I was, okay, it's out. But
As
good.
did I. I got a little bit of excitement there.
Yeah, good effort on the shot, though. Just, I think not quite able to direct it fully goalwards.
This will be a Thorns throw now. The Thorns executing a bit of gamesmanship here. No real hurry from them. Broncos win possession back. Nice little play off the back heel. but the Thorns win it right back. There'll be a foul called in Boise State's favor.
This is big here for the Broncos. Have an opportunity to coordinate a free kick into the box, get a lot of people in there, and maybe something can happen as we are inside the final about 3 minutes or so.
This may be one of the Broncos' last opportunities here, as we have 87 minutes and 30 seconds down, roughly 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Broncos take the free kick, a low liner, straight off the foot of a Thorns player, but the Broncos get it back into the mixer. And the Thorns have it. They now have numbers for a counterattack if they want it. They got a 3-on-2. Moving quickly are the Thorns up the right side now. Boise State scrambling to get back on defense. And there is a foul called against the Broncos, and a yellow card will be assessed to number 23. That is Adriana Rinker with the yellow card. Put her in the book. The Thorns have a free kick.
And once again, absolutely no hurry to take this one.
No hurry to take this one. Thorns will take their sweet time here. Broncos trying to get the Thorns the ball. Setting up a two-man wall. There'll be 4 players in the box for the Thorns. Defended by 5 players from the Broncos. Ball played in the box for the Thorns. Oh, it's a good ball. Nobody can make contact with it, though. It'll be out for a goal kick. Corner, rather. The referee says that it came off of Emily Funk's fingertips, so it'll be a corner kick for the Thorns. The Thorns setting up quickly here, which I'm surprised to see. I would think they're going to take a bit more time. Ball played into the box. Rattling around, and it will be a foul for the aggressive play by the Thorns attacker. Funk resetting quickly now. A new substitute coming in. This is number 26 for Boise State. Bryn Sommer re-entering the game.
Into the last minute here for the Broncos. This is definitely gonna be one of their last chances.
Boise State running out of opportunities here. Pislari steals the ball. Pislari going up the side, and that one will be knocked out. It will be a corner kick for the Thorns, and that may be all she wrote. Pislari on the ground. She appears to be injured. I hope she's okay. Looks as if she's nursing her left leg a little bit. Her teammates tending to her. It's number 11, Bryn Walker, attending to Vic Pislari, the senior from Hawaii High School. Head coach Kelly Potter running out to check now. Kelly Potter, Miss Do-It-All. She manages the program. She's the one spearheading the effort to merge the Cutthroat with the Boise Thorns, and she is also the acting head coach today, as we mentioned earlier, because the other 2 coaches are away on duty, as they all help the youngster to the sideline. Certainly favoring her right leg. It looks as if her left leg was a bit affected there on that play. As we will resume play on the field here, the Thorns have a corner kick. Oh, misplayed there by the Thorns. They had opportunity. Broncos now pushing. Broncos with numbers for a counterattack if they move quickly here. Playing it over the right side. They cannot switch the ball in time. Oh, but it's misplayed by the Thorns. Here goes the Broncos. This may be it. And that ball is softly played to the keeper, Houghton. Referee looking at his wrist. Houghton playing it out to the right. Thorns holding the ball in the corner now, playing possession. Referee looking like he's about to call it. In the midfield they go now. Ball is played forward. Boise State wins possession back. It appears the referee will give Boise State one last opportunity as the Broncos are now into the defending line. Boise State pushing. This is number 7 for Boise State with the play. Oh my goodness! Mere inches from hitting the back post and careening into the goal. That was number 7 for Boise State with the shot. That's Taylor Arrieta. Misses by mere inches right there. Oh. A very good shot, a low liner to the back post.
Man, that was a great run there. Great bit of a combination there on that left side, and just managed to turn the corner. Got it around the goalkeeper, but just couldn't quite bend it back in off the post.
And with that last sequence, that last flurry of action, this game will go final. Our final score will be the Boise Thorns 1, Boise State Women's Club Team 0. Boise State ends their season by being shut out, unfortunately. But as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they already had a ton of success this year to hang their hats on. You can see disappointment on some of the Boise State players' faces, but there's no reason to be disappointed. This Boise Thorns team, I think, is going to end up being quite a talented side in the UPSL's Mountain Division this year.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, they got a lot of the key pieces back from their team last year, you know, or some of the key pieces, I should say, that ended up winning the Mountain Division title last year, and they still retain a lot of that infrastructure, and obviously adding a lot of really, really talented players again for their team this season. And we could see it from minute one, even though a lot of these players are unfamiliar, haven't played a ton of minutes together, haven't trained together a lot. They're very, very good players, and they eventually just made it work.
Who's your player of the game, Alton? Because mine personally is going to be a tie between Bailey Dunez and Vic Pislari, the youngster who we hope is okay.
I think I'm gonna have to tie break and give it to Dunez. I think Pislari had a great game. I thought she was really integral in what they were trying to do in terms of getting away from the pressure from Boise State a lot of the time and creating opportunities for teammates to move in transition. But I think just Dunez was a big thorn in the side there of the Broncos. The entire game was ingenuitive and trying to get the ball behind and try to create for her teammates and for herself.
Most certainly. Well, for all of us here at University Television Productions, we thank you for tuning in to this special live stream of the Boise State Women's Club soccer team. Our final score today is going to be Boise Thorns FC 1, Boise State 0. That will be the wrap for Boise State's women's season, and that will also be the wrap for us. For all of us here with BTV, I'm Riley Chappelle, and this is Alton Dills. Thank you very much for joining us today. Have a good one and happy Saturday.